This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Sunday, the 29th of September, was cold, dark, and rainy, as most days in the Meuse-Argonne campaign would prove to be. The Germans had to achieve success today to blunt the Americans. However, before the Germans attacked, the commander of the U.S. 140th Regiment, Colonel de la Plaine, was ordered to seize Exermont. De la Plaine's attack would possibly have failed if not for the detachment of the 139th Regiment advancing in support to his left. The detachment striking forward on de la Plaine's left was commanded by none other than Major James Rieger. Rieger led his men north, across a wide-open field where the German artillery and machine gun fires intensified. This was the same field where Major Collick's attack had failed a few minutes earlier. The division's history records what happened next as the men advanced against the fierce German resistance. As if they were walking forward through a driving hailstorm, they turned their faces leeward and, leaning forward against the blast, pushed ahead. Under Rieger's leadership, his battalion seized two important locations, Vauquois and Charpentry. The irony of this is that during their days of training at Camp Doniphan in Oklahoma, Rieger was told that he would not amount to much. Then, in 1917, the aspiring commander of the division's artillery brigade, Brigadier General Lucien Berry, was given the task of getting the 35th Division ready for war. However, Berry, a regular Army officer, used his time more to root out National Guard officers that he disapproved of than to focus on training the men for combat. Berry apparently had designs to force Major Rieger out of the unit, ostensibly because he disapproved of the officer's Christian faith and his leading the popular Sunday school for the men. Rieger's overt Christian faith was not something that Berry wanted in his officers. However, Rieger was too popular with the men for Berry to fire him outright. On one occasion, Berry blurted out that Rieger was hopelessly useless. The hopelessly useless Major James E. Rieger would be lauded in France and the United States as the hero of the Argonne for the series of heroic feats he accomplished during the first 3 days of the Meuse-Argonne offensive. Brigadier General Lucien Berry proved less successful in his leadership during the Meuse-Argonne. His inability to provide the division's infantry with consistent artillery support came under severe scrutiny both during and after the battle. General Berry disregarded targeting information, even as his guns fired into the men of the 35th Division, causing scores of American casualties. Berry also refused to adjust his fire based on reports from the air service, which would have spared the division's men being bombarded by his guns. AEF aircraft provided reports on the location of the friendly and enemy positions during the offensive, which Berry refused to use. Considering this assessment, one wonders about Berry's judgment on Rieger's being hopelessly useless.